Today, on a special episode of From Beyond the Lake, we have an interview with director Sean Q. King, straight out of Long Island, New York. Known for his award-winning cinematography on 2008's Night for Day, the fun and fantastic horror series The Ghouligans, and the fun 90s throwback SCREAMWALKERs. All right, Sean.
What's up, Don?
It's good to see you again,
yes,
man.
You too,
How
sir.
are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. You just moved here from New York.
Yeah.
To the Minnesota area.
Right. I'd never been to the Twin Cities area before now, but I was looking for a place to relocate and typing in the happiest places in the U.S. or the least stressful places to live, and number one was always Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Which seems really expensive, kind of like New York. So I was looking for a place that was more affordable, happier, less stressful, and Minneapolis kept coming, or Minnesota in general, kept coming up as, it was always in like the top 5 searches that I was doing. I don't know how real that was, but I always felt like, I never felt like a New Yorker, I always felt like a Midwesterner, if that makes any sense. But I didn't even know what that was.
See, I was a fake New Yorker. Being from Connecticut,
okay, yeah.
What are you going to do? Go hang out at Mystic Marine Life Seaport?
I don't think there's a real New Yorker unless you live in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan.
Yeah. And that's where I spent most of my time. Like Coney Island was like my teenage years.
Yeah.
But I hope Minneapolis is treating you well thus far. You finding some film work or?
Yeah. I've gotten lucky so far. Blessed to get a couple of things, and a few of my clients kind of had some things locally, so I got a little busy with that. Trying to get some creative things done.
Like what? Like if there's anyone watching right now that are like, man, you know what, I just want to do something. What are you looking for, I should say?
Well, indie films. Mm-hmm. Look, like those who work in like the corporate and creative space of production. And we're not talking television and film. We're talking like the 9 to 5 style,
like advertising and
yeah, that kind of stuff. Some of us who got into film because we love movies and storytelling get those jobs in corporate commercial filmmaking, and that's a great job. Like you can work 3 days on a commercial, make good money, go home, and you can get home and have dinner with your family. But those of us who got into this stuff because we love movies, we want to work on movies too,
yeah.
Right? And the commercials and corporate things,
they're soulless. I was doing it for advertising, and you'd come up with these great wacky ideas, and they're like, yeah, no, what do you, no. You want something boring and safe that looks pretty.
Right, exactly. So while you're limited, and it's easy to get into that mode of limiting yourself creatively, mm-hmm. because you're doing a talking head interview, you're doing B-roll at an office, or so you're talking to CEOs or whatever, So there's always that, if you love film and storytelling, you want to work on movies, you want to work on indies, shorts, features, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Even documentaries, you can be really creative. So I'm looking for that stuff, but being 50 years old in a new region is hard. Oh, yeah. All right, and we were just talking about the Midwest kind of.
It's hard to break into these cliques that are already established, and
right, and like that has a kind of double meaning too, because like relationships, it's a kind of closed space, somewhat of a closed space here.
Yeah, and
then professionally too, I'm assuming like. If you're coming into a new area, a new space, a new region, and you're like trying to break in where people have established, they've fought hard to establish themselves, mm-hmm, yeah. And you're competing for the same work, like they could really, you can develop a kind of like character of like.
The personality is a lot different. I think in the East Coast, they're like, hey man, you seem to know what you're doing. Let's go do something. Here it's more like. Yeah, you got some good stuff. Yeah, maybe we'll talk. We'll do something later on, and it just never happens.
You know what I noticed, and I'm not like I'm suspicious of this. It's let's get coffee. Is that a thing?
Get coffee?
Because three or four people have said, oh, let's get coffee, and I'm like, great.
Does it ever happen?
I'm free next week, or I'm free Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't hear back.
Oh.
So I like, you know, the we'll do lunch is the new, like, let's get coffee is the we'll do lunch.
Yeah,
and it doesn't quite happen.
I don't fuck around with any of that. In fact, you sit there for a second.
Yeah. But when they say we'll do lunch, I feel like you do lunch in LA or New York. I don't know.
See,
maybe you don't. Oh my God! Get the hell out of here. Where'd you get this?
Dude, Yoo-hoo is my life.
I had it for breakfast.
Did you? Oh my God!
I had a freaking Yoo-hoo for breakfast. All right, now we're going to talk about Yoo-hoo for a second. But the best thing, being from New York and Connecticut, you could agree with this probably. Getting a bagel or an egg sandwich in the morning.
Yeah.
Nothing goes better
with
a bagel or an egg sandwich than a Yoo-hoo. Shake it.
It's great.
And you can see the build-up. You can see this.
You know, you got to shake it. Otherwise, it can be kind of gross. You know, it doesn't say it's great on it. It used to say shake it. It's great.
It's great. Yeah,
it doesn't do it anymore.
So maybe they changed the formula and it couldn't say it's great anymore.
Maybe the text cost more money, the amount of letters. But yeah, see, I don't do coffee. I do Yoo-hoo. And if I say we're going to do Yoo-hoo, we're going to sit down and do Yoo-hoo. So go ahead, crack it open.
So, F coffee.
But yeah, like you were saying, like meeting people and establishing yourself. Oh, yes. There you go. Cheers.
That's hilarious. Because, no, about Yoo-hoo, though, real quick. Yoo-hoo comes in at least 3 containers that I can think of.
Okay, let's see if you get them
This is the glass.
Yep.
Obviously. There's the can, aluminum can.
Yep.
And then there's the carton.
Yep.
The paper carton.
Now, hang on. What carton are you speaking about?
I'm talking about
the little like kids like put a straw in it.
Not the juice box.
Oh, okay.
Fuck that.
People forget the one you're talking about though. The carton one. That's like a
there's
like
a quart.
Yes,
a quart, right?
Milk.
Like an orange juice thing, right? And
those are harder to find.
And then there's like the quarter gallon or something like that, right?
Yep.
I can't find them anywhere.
Oh, you can't.
And that's the best tasting Yoo-hoo you can get.
You know where you can find these all the time is SA, which is kind of like on its way out. But Walmart too, and then the dollar store.
All right.
Other than that, forget it.
Because I'm drinking out of the cans, and the cans is the worst.
See, oh really?
Yeah, I don't like the cans. The carton is the way to go.
I like the can. I don't like the carton, man.
Get out of here! You're on crack. Man.
Oh man, I might be. I had some crack for breakfast, so me and Charlie Sheen.
You burned your taste buds. All that crack you're smoking.
No, but yeah, there's definitely a difference in taste between aluminum and glass.
Yeah, but aluminum and glass, it gets the coldest, which is good.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what I like about Yoo-hoo? I always used to drink it warm too. You can drink it warm. You ever drink it warm?
You can. It's
not that bad.
cocoa. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. Man, you got good taste. I'm glad you made it in today.
And you got the color going with your shirt. You're matching the Yoo-hoo a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is planned.
That's right. This is all planned. It's all bullshit. We're acting. We're up for Oscars. I kind of want to establish, new guy in town. If anyone can help you out. Now, my podcast is all about trying to help artists. It's about promoting artists. It's not about egos. It's not about money. It's about people coming together and helping each other out. Because I find that, especially in the Midwest, artists don't really support other artists very much, especially writers. Like, I love writing. But, like, writers are like these, very introverted people who are kind of hard to get to know and get in and established. And then there's a lot of divas and stuff. There's a lot of challenges and obstacles. Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to bring everybody out here in front of the camera and say, look, this is what I got to offer. Let's do something. Let's not talk about it. Let's not play around. Let's get something done. So what are you hoping to do next?
It's an interesting way that you talked about that. And that's awesome. You're trying to make an actual community that recognizes itself as a community. That's great. And maybe that's because you have your epicenters that are really kind of like thinning out and going away. New York, LA, and then you had, if you're talking about film and television, Atlanta and Louisiana, you had those places. And because of the volume of people working there, you kind of had no choice other than to collaborate just to survive. Yeah. You needed the recommendation, you needed the reference, you needed the work. So it was a survival thing. And then you come into a place with a smaller market, like the Midwest, and it's kind of it feels like the survival mode is more isolation rather than kind of collaboration.
It is.
Just to kind of preserve your own thing you got going on, right? Doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
If people took a chance and worked on each other's things and collaborated more, and
there'd be more cool stuff out there. First off,
yes, yeah, and it's not about the money. If you're doing creative things, it's typically not about the money. the things that can get done are passion projects, and your commodity can be your volunteer, you're coming to set with your knowledge and your equipment and this and that, and like that's your rate, because they're going to owe you one. If you help them, they're going to help you. Hopefully,
Karma.
that's kind of how it works.
And there's a lot of talent out there just sitting around doing nothing right now. Like, we're both older, right? But still good looking. I get better looking every year. I don't know about you. But there's a lot of talent. Like, I go to these conventions and I go to these shows, and they're like, oh, I used to do cinematography work. Or like, oh, I'm a film composer. And all these people aren't doing anything. They're just floundering. They're like, all bummed out. Yeah, I want to do something. So, well, you get guys like us that want to do something. We got to like somehow draw them in.
Right.
And then basically, dude, you help me on my stuff, and then what you want to do next, I'll go help you on.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
That's the way it works.
So you're looking at maybe doing another film, like another feature film?
Yeah, absolutely. There's never a shortage of ideas. There's just a shortage of resources. But the experiment of SCREAMWALKERS, which we'll talk about later, was an experiment of having little to no resources and just doing it anyway. And I think it's so much easier to say why you can't do something than to just do the thing, right? Mm-hmm. You're psyching yourself out.
Well, there's so much wasted energy.
Right, yeah, there's so much wasted energy saying, oh, I can't do this because I don't have that, or I don't have the people to help me, or this and that. Take your idea. It's clay now. It's in a script. It's a piece of clay. You can pull pieces out. You can add things to it. You can make it this way. You can make it this way. As
malleable as you want it to be.
It's a story. Yeah. You could make it any damn way you want. It's not going to be the first version of what you thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's going to be a better version because it's a more focused, stripped down thing.
But now that you have some physical entity in front of you, you know what looks good, what doesn't look good, what needs to be reworked.
Yeah, and you know what you can do with it. Like if you kind of transform it into something that you can do, and you don't have elements of it that you're like stressing out about. I can't do this. I don't have an airplane. I can't do that scene, from Batman.
Yeah.
I can't do that stuff.
And with me, I want to get back into the filmmaking world. But, it's easier said than done now. We're older. We got more responsibilities. But this upcoming generation has all these tools of AI and CG. And I'm an old school guy. If I could, I know it takes a little bit more money now, which is funny because back in the early days, people would only use CGI very little because it was so expensive. And they'd have all these beautiful practical effects. Now they just go right to CGI because practical effects are so expensive. But I'd want to go as in camera and as practical as possible. I don't really want to use the AI stuff. I don't really want to use CG. I know it's a necessity now, unfortunately, but I want to use it as a tool, not as the whole, encompassing thing.
Use it to augment things.
Yes.
Use it to enhance.
Yes.
I think, ever since, we first saw CGI, and now we're first seeing AI imagery. At first, it was like, oh, that looks terrible. And then it got to a point where it's like, oh my God, it looks like Jurassic Park. This looks amazing. And I remember people in 1993 in that movie, in Jurassic Park, and, you see that Stegosaurus or whatever, the camera tilts up and you see that, and the actors are like, we were all like that.
Oh, yeah.
We were all like, oh my God. Yeah. But before that, we saw, it was, the horrible graphics in movies or video games, and we were just like, this looks like...
I get it.
This looks terrible. But now looking back at it, and I don't know what a 21-year-old person would think of that. They'd probably laugh and say, oh my God, that looks so cheesy, but still have fun with it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what AI is going to be looked at now in 30 years. People are going to be like, oh my God. As incredible as some of it looks now, in the past 2 years, it's advanced so much. But I still think we're in that infancy stage.
The transition period?
Yeah, of it being like, nah, but give it 8 years and it's going to be it's going to be undeniable.
Like when I was because of our age, we're pretty similar in age. It's like the Harryhausen stuff. I loved all that stuff, but that was on its way out when we were kids. Like Clash of the Titans, yes. So when I saw that, I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, and this is after Star Wars.
And this is it's already dated.
Yeah,
it's already.
It was dated then.
That's what I mean.
But if we were 7 years old,
but to us, we didn't know. No. But it looked amazing. Yeah. And I'm glad I had that opportunity because that got me in. I mean,
we were in the very tail end of that.
We had like Baker, we had Savini, we still had, you know.
They were rock stars. Like these special effects, and even like the Dennis Murins and the John Dykstras and all the like the VFX people, they would have the opening, you know, credits. They would have a big single,
rightfully so,
single title credit, you know, on the movie. Like they were
Baby Nicotero.
yeah. But they were like rock stars. They were like draws. You know, they would be on the movie poster. You know, makeup effects by Rick Baker or Rob Bottin. You know,
because even now, I mean, look like The Howling and American Werewolf in London. Werewolves are hard to do, man. And no one's gotten. I mean, Dog Soldiers, I think, is probably the only one that's been the standout since 81, 82 or whatever. But
I would say that's like the best werewolf on film movie.
Which one?
Dog Soldiers.
Oh yeah.
That's like the last one, and mostly because it was lit really dark, and they were really cool bipedal, you know.
Yep, and big.
Yeah, big and scary. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, the practical age was amazing. And we had it so good in the 80s because every weekend there was something.
Oh, yeah. Commander USA's groovy movies.
Yeah, groovy movies.
Nobody knows, you know,
that's
more
so funny.
People need to know about him.
That's so funny. I was on a podcast last weekend on Halloween talking about Commander USA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Remember his lefty, his little sock puppet head?
It was a cigar. He'd burn it in there with a cigar.
Yes.
God, I can't remember his name.
USA Up All Night.
Rhonda Shear just got a new show on YouTube.
Again.
Yep. Joe Bob is still going strong.
Yeah, that's right. Remember Drive-In Theater?
I do. Kung Fu Theater. We had Elvira.
Yeah.
I think everybody had Elvira.
Yeah.
And then like at nighttime, all the horror movies would come on before
there was like Saturday Nightmares.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yep, that's a good one. Yep.
Yeah, and then there was always like the 4:30 movie, and what was really,
Bad Ronald.
Right. All the TV movies from back then were crazy.
Well, Salem's Lot.
Right.
That was a great made for TV.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
You know, the terrifying 70s horror TV movies. It was such a treat finding those randomly late night on TV. And then we went to the video store, and that was another kind of crapshoot too, because you would rent something that had an outrageous cover, outrageous art on a big box or something like that, and you didn't know about 2000 Maniacs or
Color Me Blood Red.
Yeah, Mountaintop Motel Massacre.
Yeah. I love that cover.
Yeah, you don't know about it, but you, like the artwork just was like, it was so undeniably awesome. That you had to see what the hell that movie was.
I just wish, like, the artwork, I mean, the movie itself was as good as the artwork.
Well, if you were in the right mood, or if it was like 1 a.m. on a Saturday night, you know, like, that was the best way to kind of watch. And now it's so tough because, I mean, streaming is, look, we have it the best. There's no doubt about it.
Oh,
right now is the best because you could find all of those things 2 clicks away on YouTube. Even like they have the old VHS rips up there.
Oh man, I'm on Tubi every
or
day
Tubi.
watching.
Tubi is like the best resource for that stuff. So it's so easy to find. Mountaintop Motel Massacre.
Yeah. Boom, there it is.
But while you're searching for it, you're just like, you start to go cross-eyed because there's 1,000 other titles just like it, and you kind of give up.
Yeah.
And I just wind up
it's overwhelming.
I wound up going to my media rack and pulling a Blu-ray off of Maniac or something. Because it's just like, sometimes it's like, just please tell me what to watch, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to make up my mind anymore, you know? Like, just give me something.
And oftentimes I just go to the same stuff. I go right to
Yeah, that's why people still watch The Office and Friends and stuff, because it's like, it's
weirdos
so overwhelming.
Like us will pull out street trash. Or,
right, like the comfort things. But it's just like, I think it's just so easy to give up on things now, or just go back to like, you know, the safe bet, rather than explore like we did, like we randomly found it, or we just took a chance on an awful, disgusting exploitation movie on videotape, you know.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of movies that I would want to make, you know, like if we're talking about like what kind of things that, you know, I would want to do, it's It's something that's different, man. I'm not thrilled with most of the media that we have now. Some of it's incredible, and I never want to talk trash about any creator right now because
it's all subjective anyway. It's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, what happened when everything became so accessible and democratized and technology became so available is that everybody can make their movie, and that's amazing. And then pretty much anybody can get it on streaming too.
Yeah.
I mean, SCREAMWALKERS got on streaming, and
that's popping up everywhere lately. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome.
Thank you, but I mean, trying to do that 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was impossible.
No way would anybody take a chance on something like that.
Yeah.
So it's great, but there's too much. There should be kind of I'm not saying we need gatekeepers, but journalists do their job and kind of tell you what's worth it and what's not, but it's all subjective. You're right. And if you want to spend a week there on the couch scanning through thumbnails and trying to find your thing, cool. But it's tough, man.
So let's get into SCREAMWALKERS.
It came about from two things basically. I was making these short films, and I was spending a lot of time and money developing these short films, and I was trying to make them kind of my business card, the calling card. I was spending a lot of money and getting great crew people and casts, and I made 2 or 3 shorts that I thought were good, but they weren't as fun as I was hoping that they were going to be to produce them.
What were they called, real quick, before?
Yeah.
And then where could they find them?
Yes. One long-term project, which was a fun thing to do and a dream come true, was the Gooligans, and that was kind of a series, an episodic thing that I did for 10 years.
I saw some of it, and I wish I saw it all because it was fun. That's the kind of stuff I'm into, like bringing all those horror host kind of elements from public access TV, and I loved it. It's so much fun. Sorry I cut you off.
No, thank you, because that's exactly where it came from. It came from public access television. I was into public access television with those same group of guys from the Gooligans back in the mid-'90s. We were making our short films and putting them on local cable access, public access. Yeah. If anybody remembers what the hell that is. Back when we had cable and weird backwater channels of cable stations. Used to have access to the public, and you could put anything on TV. Anything you made, you could put on TV. So those guys I was creating with Peter Bune, Mike Kosick, Justin Hertz, and a few other people. We would put our movies on cable access, and this was like YouTube before YouTube. So at 11:30 at night, you'd be scanning through the channels like we do now, but cable, not streaming. And you'd come across our show, the Slacker TV it was called. And we were doing sketches. We were doing comedy sketches. And then we wanted to tell stories, so then we turned it into kind of a half-hour sitcom.
It's good.
And
it's really good.
Thanks, man. And then we turned that into, we did that for 7 years, and then we turned it into the Gooligans, where it was the same kind of concept. We were doing sketches and kind of sitcoms, but we turned ourselves from 20-something slackers into monsters. So you had a Frankenstein, a zombie, a werewolf, and a Dracula, or vampire rather. And we did our sketch comedy and our comedy shows. We did that for 10 years, and we would go to all the horror conventions. We'd dress up as the characters, we were very cartoony, live action cartoony. It was like Scooby-Doo meets Pee-wee's Playhouse, the Monkeys, the Munsters, that kind of stuff. The stuff that we grew up on reruns on, So that was like a dream come true, because we always wanted our Saturday morning monster show or our sitcom. So we got to do that, and then we stopped that in 2015, and then I did a couple of shorts. I did a short called Hunter's Moon, a werewolf movie.
Yep, I saw it.
Yeah. And then I did another one called Like Me Deadly, which was a social media angle slasher movie.
That was I really like that.
Thanks, man. That was about a girl who was trying to get her subscribers up, and then she has a home invasion, and then she live streams her home invasion to get to her.
But it's so relevant. I think watching it, I kind of knew where it was kind of headed, but I was like, I enjoyed it all the way through.
Thanks, man. I like satire.
It was well directed. It looked great.
Thanks, man.
The actress did a good job, and that's another thing is like with indie movies. We'll get into it more, but the acting can be patchy. But all those shorts were fantastic. Even the werewolf one, the acting was great, and that skit show, it was so much fun.
Yeah. But I just like.
And are those all on YouTube? Because I just want to be able to have people go and see all that stuff.
They're all on YouTube. The Ghouligans, that has its own channel on YouTube. And Sean, SEANKING, I have a YouTube channel, and they're all on YouTube, Vimeo too. And I was making the short films, and I was happy with them. There's things I would do differently. But I was also working in the corporate video world, the corporate film making and commercial world. And then I was trying to apply what I was doing with the corporate films, trying to make it really high end and perfect. And I was trying to do that with the short films rather than just kind of having fun and being wildly creative, And it just,
you got to make money too, though.
Yeah. No, the corporate filmmaking is great. But the short films were supposed to be a break from that. And then I wound up kind of just doing them in the style of the commercials, which was restrictive creatively, And then I just kind of remembered the times where we would just cable access days where we would pick up a camcorder and my friend, hey, what are you doing today? Like, let's go make a sketch.
Yep.
Can't do that at 45 so much as you can do it at 19. But maybe we can.
Yeah, after we get the kids home from soccer practice,
and kind of separate that responsible adult to a creative person that is unrestricted creatively is hard. Okay,
it is,
and that's why you're able to do it less and less as responsibilities mount. Okay, so it was a desire to kind of break away from trying to make the perfect short film that would be the Vimeo staff pick, or you would send out to a production company and they would be like, wow, this is great, you should direct our feature. That was trying to do that, and it just wasn't fun. So around that same time, after the pandemic, my friend Will Pentarich, who helped out on all the short films and the Ghouligans and stuff, he was a really fun guy to hang out with, really creative guy. He was doing these haunted attractions on Long Island, right? Some of them were like extreme haunted, like theatrical experiences where you would be like torture, it would be like simulated torture and kidnappings and stuff,
Those were popular for a hot minute.
For from 2015, it's really started happening in 2015, and he worked at McCamey Manor, which is a notorious kind of extreme haunted house or theatrical experience, where they would do it they would kidnap you and bring you to an undisclosed location, and you'd pay $250 to have this
wild,
get kidnapped, man. And then suffocated and drowned and
kicked in the nuts.
All this shit, right?
Your head shaved.
Yeah, exactly. So he would do that stuff, and he became kind of known for that. But he would also
Hey, Sean, I noticed you're missing some teeth, buddy. What happened?
Oh, I think I have one of my thumbs is damaged because I went through one of these things.
Jesus Christ!
And one of the actors picked me up. He was like, me and my friend, we went through it, and Will was went to the actors give it to these guys. These are my friends coming through, And one guy picked me up and slammed me against the wall, and my thumb just went like that,
Jesus.
And then I never went through another Will Pentarich theatrical experience again. But he did one. He also does fun ones for families too. And one of them was the Dark Knight Halloween Trail, and he wanted to have familiar looking horror characters in it. Mm-hmm. But he didn't want to do Leatherface or Pinhead or Freddy.
Then if it's called the Dark Knight, he should have the Dark Knight of the Scarecrow in there somewhere, right?
I don't know if he had I don't know if he had a Scarecrow character. Oh, okay. But that would have made sense. Yeah. It was Dark Knight Halloween World. That's what it was. It was Dark Knight Halloween World.
I like it. Nice.
And so he wanted these kind of familiar looking horror characters, kind of that bled over from a different dimension, sort of. So it wouldn't be Freddy Krueger. It would be Scary Terry or something. It would be somebody familiar like that. And one of the ones he made was something called SCREAMWALKER, and it wasn't Ghostface, but it looked like Ghostface from Scream, and it was a cat, and he called it the copycat killer from the movie SCREAMWALKERS. And I thought that was just a really cool looking mask. And out of all the characters that he created for this thing, that was the one that I was like, man, that's really cool. And back then I kind of had the idea of, I was just wondering like yeah, Halloween is a good movie, but is it a good franchise? Like the movie Halloween, it's a classic. Everybody loves Halloween, and most people just love Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But not me so much. And I was just wondering like, why does Michael Myers, like why is he the guy? Like I understand Halloween's a classic. The other movies are, you know, my favorite one is Halloween 3. Because,
oh my God, I was waiting to jump in. I thought I was the only one on the planet.
This was the hot take for years, but it's not anymore.
Yeah, but it makes sense because John Carpenter wanted, if he wanted to continue on with Halloween, he wanted them to be like anthologies.
Which I would have loved.
Every Halloween would have been a different story, but they pushed him to do the sequel to Halloween.
Yeah, but imagine that future if we got...
it would have been awesome. But Halloween 3 was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Tom Atkins... No matter what he's in, he's awesome.
That's right, man. So that was kind of his idea was to, you know, get these, you know, franchisable characters, but not make them, you know, not have any infringing.
Yeah, of course,
right?
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking of like, if you can make like a Halloween type of movie, it doesn't even have to be great, but if you have a cool masked killer, it could endure. You know, like. People could like latch onto it, you know, and that's what I thought Halloween was. Is, you know, it's just a cynical view of you know, that kind of franchisable character. It's like, okay, Michael Myers is just this blank character. Maybe that's what his appeal, because he's just a blank thing. He's got a scary mask and a cool as hell theme song. So if you can build a franchise on that, like, you know,
but sometimes less is more. Like there wasn't much.
Sure.
He was the shape. He really wasn't even initially the Michael Myers. He was just the shape.
It was
I believe
something you can project your fear onto, like a blank screen, right? Yeah.
You know, for babysitter killers. I think that was the original title.
Yeah, the babysitter murders.
Murders, that's what it was.
Right, yeah.
And then the theme, he also wanted to do something simplistic, and that, like, that is perfect.
It works.
It works.
It works 100%, and it built a whole franchise that still, they'll keep going back to and back to and back to.
So you wanted to do something like that?
Yeah, sure, yeah. It was like, this could be that character. And yeah, sure, it's recognizable, it's derivative as hell, but that was also the charm too, because I'm a fan of toy collecting, vintage toys, and there's an aspect of toy collecting called knockoffs, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you know,
I'm a dork.
Yeah, exactly, you know. So these are these are made in China or Mexico, and they're just knockoffs of. They're ripoffs. They're
like Robert Cop, furniture of the future or whatever. Yeah,
that's right. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So and then there was a Freddy Krueger knockoff called Sharp Hand Joe.
Yep, I saw it. I've seen it,
which is hilarious. And these things, you know, they went viral. They get shared on the internet and shit. So it's like, okay, this could be our meme. You know, kind of like our meme character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This could be like. It's not Scream, it's SCREAMWALKERS. You know?
It's a cool design. I gotta say,
it is cool. It's really cool.
The cover art. Oh, I gotta give you one of these.
Yeah, that's Mark Schoenbach, Sadist Art Designs. Look him up if you need a movie poster. Mark Schoenbach's your guy.
Those floating head things drive me nuts. It's beautiful cover art for the DVD.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it embellishes things in the movie, but that's what the kind of movie this is. Yeah. So the idea was like, all right, let's make a fun movie that has this masked character. And people will know. Hopefully, they either get the joke, or they just dismiss it as a ripoff. Either way, it's cool because it still gets your attention. You know? So in 2023, we wrote that. He made the mask in 2021, and then we talked about it in 2022. We wrote the script. My friend Bob Heckman collaborated with the story. I wrote the script. We were shooting it in October 2023. And we decided early on kind of that this was going to be a real low budget movie, micro budget. I didn't have any money, and we were going to crowdfund some money. We didn't know how much we were going to do. So we did an Indiegogo, and we had a number of amazing contributors helped raise $8,000. And I always knew that I was not going to have a crew. Like maybe a few days I would have some friends come over and, you know, operate a boom pole and you know, push a dolly or something like that. So I needed a production method that was fast and easy. And just remembering the short films where I had to hire, assistant camera people, gaffers, grips, and, boom ops and sound mixers and stuff. I was like, no way that's happening now. If we shoot it on a camcorder, and I set everything on auto, camera does all the work. I just put it on a cheap tripod and get some good actors, the best actors I can find, and get good sound, like mic people up, take time to mic people up and do the sound right.
See that's, I'm glad you said that. That's one of the biggest problems outside of acting in indie movies is audio. It's probably worse.
Yeah.
So very important.
Yeah. It's kind of a known thing now that, like, don't fuck with your sound.
No.
Take your sound seriously.
Yep.
Invest in your sound, because if SCREAMWALKERS is proof, your movie could look like shit, but if it sounds like shit, people are not. They're going to tune out. Like, and you could always say, oh yeah, the visuals, that was a choice. Like, and SCREAMWALKERS, it was a choice to shoot it on an old camcorder, 30-year-old camcorder. But if you have bad sound, that's not a choice. That's a mistake.
I think it's also important, being that we've both been in filmmaking, is that when you want to do all this stuff on your, when you have to do all this stuff on your own, because of monetary constraints and everything else, is you can't fix everything in post.
Right.
A lot of people are like, the hardest part is just getting it all on film. No, it's not.
No, it's not, man.
No, it's not. Editing is a nightmare. Editing, you sit in a room for 30 days and it sucks.
Yeah, you learn that by doing it.
You want to get as much right out of the gate as possible.
No, I rarely hear fix it in post on an actual set.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that, I'm like,
cringe.
Well,
and ADR.
Pay for that one.
Probably because we've both been on both sides of the camera here, is that ADR, you can notice. You ever notice it, like when you're watching something, you're like, oh jeez, they ADR'd that. You can just tell.
You could notice it in the biggest movies.
They do it all the time.
Biggest ones.
Yep.
TV movies, like.
Yep.
That's what really bugs me, man. Like,
you can hear it.
Like, we spent $13,000 on SCREAMWALKERS, and we raised $8,000, and I put in the rest out of pocket. Still trying to recoup that by DVD sales and stuff, which is going really cool, and the streaming is working out. But it was like, let's not pretend we're doing something that we can't do here. Let's not overextend ourselves. So, and also the benefit of kind of like, talk about the VHS days and the video store days and stuff. Like, we grew up at the movie theaters and drive-ins, and then the video stores knocked out the drive-ins pretty much.
Yeah, they did.
And the drive-ins, are still a fringe thing, which is amazing too. And video stores are still a fringe thing, which is funny. So going back to the early 1980s, 1982, there's a movie called Boarding House. Really micro budget, almost home movie shot on videotape. Yeah. And that was the first shot on video movie.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that was the first shot on video movie.
Oh.
That was transferred to 35 millimeter film and shown in theaters, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that was shot on. Oh,
it was shot on. It was shot on video, like professional broadcast video.
Yeah.
Like that. But as the 80s went on, people just, as home video cameras became more affordable, they started making, movies on VHS videotape.
Shot on shitty. Oh, I shot on video.
Shot on video, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, watch, Black Devil Doll from Hell.
I'll tell you what, some are actually good. I don't give a shit. Like Sledgehammer, I thought was pretty good.
Sledgehammer was the first one that was made directly for the home video, like video stores, right?
Black Devil Doll from Hell. We'll just keep going on.
It's still, but that's a good example of something that's, it's transgressive.
Tales from the Quad Dead Zone.
Yeah. But there's still something to those.
Oh, there is.
They're transgressive.
Yeah.
They're just. They feel like they're made on a different planet. All right?
Yes.
And that's like...
It's entertaining.
Look, if you
dissuade you.
If you're not going to compete with, The Thing...
Yeah.
But you can make Black Devil Doll from Hell...
Yeah.
And it can go on the video store shelf...
Oh, yeah.
Next to each other. Like, that's incredible.
That's huge.
Yeah. Like, now the version of that is now streaming, right?
Yeah.
But that kicked off a whole kind of subgenre of shot-on video movies, right? And I just kind of got really into them by distributing Boarding House. I bought the rights to Boarding House. I put that out. And then you started learning about the Polonia brothers and Todd Sheets and other, kind of like prolific, shot on video producers. And then in recent years, like that's been kind of rediscovered, the shot on video thing. And now there's producers who prefer to just shoot on video rather than use their 8K red camera. And, because they don't have a crew. Yeah. They don't have a whole camera crew. And you can turn that camera on and it's not going to compete with the movies that are shot on Arris and Reds and 8K cameras, but they're going to stand out from those, right? And
I do want to say this. I cut you off a lot, but I'm a big mouth East Coast guy. It's just going to happen.
No, go ahead. I'm used to it.
So
make me feel at home.
I do want to give you some props before I forget, because I'm old and forgetful. The writing for your movie is really good. The dialogue is really good.
Thank you.
The reason I want people to know this is because you have to judge indie micro budget cinema on a different grading scale. You do. There's no way around it.
Exactly right. Yeah.
You can't compare The Exorcist to something from Intravision or
right.
that you're probably gonna buy from Blue Underground or something. So
that's one of my favorite labels. Yeah.
But the dialogue is really good in SCREAMWALKERs.
Thanks, man. Thank you. That's the first time I think we're complimented on the dialogue. So
no. I think because we're in the industry.
I am not
it's
a writer
great
by any means.
Well, you come off like one because it's good.
Thanks.
And a lot of the times,
and you are a writer. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not saying I'm any good or anything. I might be, but sometimes you watch the movies and some of the dialogue is just so awfully. But sometimes it's fun. But it's very well done. Of course, to be honest with you, some is executed on different levels of performances, but the writing overall is really good. I'm like, it was noticeable to me at least.
That's great, and also I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. But also, like you mentioned, performances vary in people's opinions. I think there's strengths and weaknesses to everything, including my own work, please. But also.
I'm not knocking anybody.
No, I appreciate it.
But I don't like bullshitting people.
Yeah.
And if somebody's interested in something, I'm not just saying your film, just in general, and they go and they're like, oh God, what the hell is this? Because I want to promote you. I think the writing is excellent. I think some of the execution is better than others. In fact, there's one girl that stands out. I wish I remembered her name. This is bad research on me. She had dark hair, stringy hair. She's very charismatic. I thought she did really well.
That's Celia Sparrow.
I think, honestly, she was the standout.
Yeah. She gets gutted.
Yes.
The one? Yeah.
And then the other standout was, the leads were fine.
Yeah.
But like, as far as, people are all drawn to different people. Like you might be drawn to this person, but I was drawn to the girl you just mentioned. I thought she did fantastic. The way she carried herself, she had a look.
She's natural. She's like natural.
She was.
There was no direction.
A presence.
Yeah.
Like it was compelling.
She's a character. Yeah.
And the video guy, because he was funny, but he was so obnoxious, you wanted to murder him.
Andy Rowell. Yeah.
He did exactly what he needed to do to play that part.
Yeah. Look up Tequila Guy.
Tequila Guy?
He was on America's Got Talent, and he was known as the Tequila Guy.
Oh God, that's funny.
So if you Google Tequila Guy, you'll see videos. He's got like millions of views, and I didn't know that until after we cast him.
Yeah.
Because he was the last person to be cast. Andy Rowell, fantastic performer.
He fit that character perfectly.
Because he's the kind of, if we were doing a proto kind of Scream type movie, he was the guy who knew all the rules of the horror movie,
Yeah. That's what he came off as.
Yeah, he's the Jamie Kennedy kind of like wiry, the guy, So we needed,
and he did it well.
We needed that energy, yeah. And all the criticism is fair, and it's also kind of like it's excusable when it's in the container that SCREAMWALKERS is in, which is an unassuming home movie type of thing.
Yeah.
All right. So all critique is completely fair. I learn more from the negative reviews, the negative aspects from the positive.
Yeah.
Like you do everything, right?
Yeah. Unless it's validated. There's people that just don't like anything. They bitch about everything, complain about it. Those people drive me nuts. But if someone says, hey, you know what? This was good, But
teach me something.
I want to hear it, so next time I know what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, inform me about something.
I do got to ask you this though.
Yeah.
Because I've worked on sets, and I see like a director. Because you're a director, you're a producer, you're a Renaissance man, my friend. Is that people? I'll be on set and I'll see somebody. And I'm like, ooh, that was a real bad take, and they're like, oh, that was great. Okay, let's move along. I'm like, look, if I'm a director or I'm a filmmaker, and I'm putting I only got $9,000 to my life, and I know I got a lot of cast that are probably working for nothing. But wouldn't you want, this has always driven me nuts, so I want a serious answer. It's always driven me nuts that that take was horrible and it takes you out of the film, because I know as soon as you watch it, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Why wouldn't you just stop and be like, look, I'm putting my life savings into this shit. You got to do that one more time because that was terrible. I feel like I've seen it. I've experienced it. There's like an intimidation to say maybe try that in a different way, or what is that about? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in some cases you might be right, where it's a timid person, person, whether either they're kind of intimidated by their surroundings, and that's the worst thing you could be as a director, is intimidated by your own thing. Mm-hmm. You have to have every answer to every question, or you have to come up with a good line of bullshit to get you to the next, question. Mm-hmm. Indecisiveness, they're going to smell like blood in the water. If you don't know, you're going to lose everybody's confidence. So to be kind of, unsure or timid about it, going forward from that is going to be rough. And to another. To another example might just be like, I don't know what I want, and that's probably a producer who has not had the experience, has not done the research, has not watched enough movies. I mean, film education is watching movies. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because go to film school and stuff and get your hands on this and read books and crap, but
you're right. It's
your instincts.
Yeah.
And this comes with time too. Like these producers, you were on set and you saw this example. I don't know if it was, a real example or not, but I've seen bad line readings or bad takes, and creators like us, we want to speak up and be like, are you kidding me? Like, what? Do it again. Why? But it's probably just a not well informed creator, and those people continue to work too.
Yeah.
Which is bad, because they have the relationships, or they have money, or they have an advantage
network,
that you don't.
Yeah.
And those people can be very successful. I mean, Hollywood has shown that mediocrity is is
king.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's what makes these indie movies fun.
Yeah,
it's you can have that bad line reading, but the next scene you have a cool, awesome monster or something, or a gore scene or something like that. So every horror fan has like a checklist.
Yeah,
and if the scorecard has 10 checks, or 10 kind of bullet points that you want. If you get 6 or 7 marks, and you don't get 4 or something like that, you've done it pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's a good way. You got a positive, good outlook.
Yeah, and that's why we watch these things, because these are things that you're not going to go see in. You're not going to find that in a Marvel movie. You're going to find a bad line reading in a Marvel movie.
No, but it's when I'm watching more highbrow stuff like Suburban Sasquatch. Oh
my God, Wes David? David Wes David?
I'm just kidding.
Fungicide is great.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's great. It's great.
I'll tell you what, I had a blast with Suburban Sasquatch.
See,
I can't say it, but
no, that's why we watch these things. And sometimes the line reading makes the movie. The bad line reading makes the movie.
It does.
But if you're selling this as a legit thing, and everything else is up to snuff, and you have that weak link, man, that can sink your whole damn thing. Yeah. We got the cast through Facebook. Mm-hmm. I cast the entire movie on Facebook, actors groups in New York. So we pulled actors from Long Island, which is a pretty good resource for talent, and then an hour away we had New York City, and which is arguably one of the best resources for talent for acting. So that's where we got Andy Rowell, Rose Stark, Sasha Graham, who's been in a lot of shot-on-video movies, and a lot more from the cast came from New York. and everybody kind of worked for a real shit rate. Fed them pretty good. That's another thing. Good sound and good food will get your movie. You know, people will come back the next day to work, right? Even if they're making $100 a day or whatever. But most actors, they just want, you give them something, and then have them, allow them to collaborate and create, man. Like this, I told every actor, I'm like, look, I'm not a writer. This is the screenplay. This is a, this is clay. You can mold this. You can create your character as long as we're in the confines of the story and where the parameters are there. You can do whatever the hell you want.
I'll tell you what. I saw your shorts too. You are a good writer. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass.
Thanks, man.
Because if you weren't, I wouldn't mention it. I'd be like, let's talk about something else.
This would be an aspect,
I got Yoo-hoo here. No, but yeah, no, the writing is good.
Yeah.
And
well, the things that, like you mentioned before, it's like the things that people are going to notice first is the acting. Right?
Oh yeah.
If you don't have that, you don't have much. So you need a story that compels you, that keeps you going, and you need good actors to tell the story. And hopefully you have a good director that kind of move things along and, reveal this, reveal that, like this piece of information needs to be here and this and that.
Well, you've got an advantage as a writer-director of your film because you already have it inside your head.
Yeah. Well, editing too, also. I know exactly how... Anytime I read another script, because I DP a lot of movies too, or some movies. So I'm a director of photography, and every time I read a script, I'm reading it as a director, editor too. Being a director, editor too, and writing's the same way. You're the movie's made 3 times. It's writing, it's directing it, and then it's editing it. And the movie in the editing stage might be really different than the movie you wrote, And but this one kind of followed through. I mean, the actors were fantastic. The crew was great. Some days were rough. Some days it was just me and 2 actors and a lav mic and a tripod and just the camera and no, we didn't have anybody blocking lights or bouncing or diffusing anything. But again, it was like the hardest part of the movie was like accepting that you don't have a gaffer grip, a boom op. There was no sound mixer. It was me with the headphones and the this thing attached to the side of the camera. Record, go. And then
sometimes it actually works out better. Sometimes.
Well, in this case, it did, because if there was like other stressors, like, oh shit, I got to get the right T-stop or the color balance. Hold on, give me 5 minutes. I got to change a lens. That would have ruined the whole experience.
Lighting's another thing. Like you can't fuck with lighting.
Right. Yes. You need
post. That's even worse of a nightmare than audio. I think
you need to see faces.
You'll destroy everything you created.
And that's what I like. I'm not a fan of how things look now. I'm not going to say everything, but most things look really mushy to me, especially like TV shows, TV movies, and like these kind of ungraded kind of like elevated horror movies that feel like everything is dark. Even the exterior, daytimes, it's like, why is it so dark? Why is there no colors? What is going, like, what the hell is going on? Like the
most standout movies like Dario Argento and like
I love those color splashes, man. I just got the Mario Bava box set. Okay, so I'm
one of my favorites.
A huge Mario Bava. Okay, good. All right, so Bava does not get enough credit for starting so much. All right,
He doesn't.
Kind of starting the slasher genre, or like the modern slasher that we know.
It's sad because you hear more about his son than him, and Mario Bava's a genius.
He's absolute genius, innovator. He started the Giallo movie. He started the kind of modern slasher movie, and an action adventure. I mean, Danger Diabolic is amazing, and so yeah. So it was and Mario Bava was a master of getting it done under budget, being very efficient, and an incredible photographer and a cinematographer, and and then Argento kind of picked up where he left off. So Mario Bava's a hero. So the color splashes were more Bava than Argento and stuff. Production went really good. Edited it. It was done 9 months later. It was ready to show in April of 2024 of last year, and we did a test screening at Gettysburg Pennsylvania at the Creature Feature weekend, and people were laughing at the right spots. They were jumping. It was like, wow, this shit works. And it came out funnier than we thought it was going to be, because, some of the effects are, they're homemade, okay?
What I liked is you played it straight, though.
There was not a moment where we weren't gonna. We weren't gonna
comedy,
like. It's not a spoof. People say spoof, and I don't like that word. Spoof.
I didn't take it like that.
It's not a spoof. It's not a fan film. If you want to take it as like people trying to make a mainstream slasher movie, but they were kneecapped by a $13,000 budget, and 3 locations. Yes, I'll accept that. Spoof? It's not a spoof. It's not a scary movie. It's not a I know what you did last summer, and it's like So it's also a love letter to those movies, because the history of slasher movies is kind of like we had Halloween, or we had A Bay of Blood,
Oh yeah.
Or before that we had Peeping Tom and Psycho, but A Bay of Blood, Bava started the 10 Little Indians, whodunit, and Halloween started the iconic slasher character, and then throughout the early 80s, we had every weekend there was a new thing. It was a Maniac. There was every weekend we had something awesome, a monster or a slasher or something like that. And then the slashers ran out their course, after sequels 3, 4, 5. They went to space. They went to the hood. They went to the city. And then by the early 90s, they were trying new ones like Shocker or Dr. Giggles, and they were trying to create the new. Hey, this is the new guy. Yeah. He's the new guy, and people were like, "Nah, we know where this is going to go, and it's going to go in space." And like
Jason goes to Toronto.
Yeah, right.
Because that wasn't shot in Manhattan, right?
The Times Square shot was stolen, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's on a boat in Toronto. Yeah, great. Jason takes the boat. Takes
from Crystal Lake all the way to.
Yeah, garbage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm with you.
I like those movies, but come on, man. Like, I don't want to see Leprechaun in space.
Here's the thing, though. Jason took, say it's an hour and a half movie. Jason took an hour and 20 minutes to get to Manhattan.
I was pissed, man. When I think the first, I saw part 7 was the first one I saw in the theater.
Oh, that was a good one, though, right? That was the psych issue.
Yeah, that was okay, yeah.
Oh, I liked it.
But part 8, man, I was pissed, man.
Well, after that, it was, it goes to
and then the audience gave up on the slasher movie, and like I said, they tried new ones.
Freddy Krueger had become Pee Wee Herman at that point.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Looney Tunes character. Yeah. But then something happened in the mid-90s where actually it started, I don't know if you know this one, this is a pretty deep cut. In 1991, there was a movie called There's Nothing Out There. And that was the first movie that most people can recall that one of the lead characters knows they're in a horror movie, right? And it was a new concept, really low budget movie that nobody really talks about. It's great though. So the final guy survived the movie by knowing that he was in a horror movie and what was going to happen. So by the mid 1990s, these kinds of things, like the only place to go with slasher movies was to know that you're in a slasher movie, to reference, hey, we're gonna have fun this time.
We're gonna be in on it.
We're in on the joke, right? Yeah. And SCREAMWALKERS is it's a knowing movie, like it knows what it is, right? It wears itself on its sleeve. It wears its inspirations on its sleeve. We know we're making just a pop fun movie, and the first one to really break open was Scream. After Scream, it allowed movies to be slasher movies again. I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that, and Urban Legend, and it was like, okay, here's the fresh start, you know. We know that these movies know what they are now, and now we can accept them for what they are.
It was a new chapter in horror.
Right. And then, arguably, ever since then, horror movies have thrived. I mean, they've reinvented themselves a few times. It became the the kind of new extreme or the torture era, and then it became the haunted house, possession or demons and The Conjuring. And then it became the A24 style, and now we're in the neon era. So it's like, so it always just kind of goes like this. Horror just goes like this. But in the from like 1990 to 96, it was down there, right? Yep. So my partner Will Pentarich, we him and I, we love that kind of comeback. We love that comeback era of pop horror that knew what it was and wasn't afraid to be pop and fun.
Yep.
And we're far out of that now, but it comes back sometimes. Scream keeps coming back. I Know What You Did Last Summer came back. And you know, you have your pop horror movies, you have your Goosebumps, which never seems to go away. So Goosebumps was also an inspiration for Screamwalkers. But back to Screamwalkers, it found a place, man. It found the people that appreciate that kind of stuff, that appreciate lo-fi, low-budget horror that knows what it is and doesn't try to be anything else. We're not trying to be a neon movie.
Yeah. We're
not trying to be an Oz Perkins movie or an Ari Aster movie. And we're not trying to be. I love Ari Aster. I love those types of movies, but they don't get me excited. Like I'm not super jazzed when like an Osgood Perkins movie is announced.
Well, they're not. I mean, they're interesting, but they're not the most fun, rewatchable movies either.
And I guess that's what the low budget, no budget, micro budget world offers. It offers the pop value of these things rather than the kind of prestige. And I never found like The Exorcist as prestige, or Rosemary's Baby as prestige, or Silence of the Lambs. They were horror movies. They were
horror
amazingly crafted studio horror movies.
Yeah.
But they were horror movies,
yes,
man.
They were.
And if they want to kind of like dress them up as thrillers or psychological dramas, fine. They're horror movies, man. But I love the exploitation world. That's the kind of.
You want to talk Ilsa? No, I'm just kidding. SS Hellcamp?
Ilsa's like a total blind spot for me.
Oh, really?
I'm into like, the...
Nunsploitation?
Nunsploitation is great. No, like even just sexploitation is fascinating to me. Like Russ Meyer is one of my favorites.
Oh man,
all right?
Faster Pussy guy, Tura Satana.
Yeah, all that stuff is fantastic. Even like the drive-in era stuff is.
I got roped into the blaxploitation. So Rudy Ray Moore and
it's like again, those are the movies that just want to please you.
Yeah.
They
make you smile.
That's all they want to do.
And
that's it.
And when you need something, it's comfort too, because you can just go there and always be happy.
That's the escape.
Yep.
All right. I don't want to be challenged sometimes. Not everybody wants to be challenged.
Yeah.
Like Hereditary is fantastic.
Yeah.
But I am rarely in the mood to watch Hereditary.
Yeah.
I'm much more in the mood to watch Super Vixens than that. So or Scream 3. Like so that's the kind of diet that I choose.
Dude, I'm with you. I mean, I'll throw in Video Dead over like.
Video Dead's so good.
It is so good.
I caught that on USA Up All Night, and I was astonished. Came out of nowhere. I was like, this is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just a scrappiness. Like my favorite movie is Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
And Evil Dead 1, the first Evil Dead changed my life, and it was just. It's just the eagerness of those movies, and hopefully Screamwalkers is like that, where it's eagerness to delight and entertain is probably better than the thing itself, and that's good enough for me. Like just try to entertain me, man. Like that's all.
So what's Screamwalkers about?
Screamwalkers is about C.J. Wyatt, a young student who's dealing with the murder of her boyfriend, and she notices that there's a pattern emerging in her town of murders that are leading up and getting closer to her. And she teams up with a detective Joe Penny, played by Glenn McBride Jr., great New York actor. Elizabeth Davallee is another great New York actor who plays C.J. Wyatt. And as they kind of uncover this series of murders and find the clues, they discover something extraordinary and supernatural is operating, is orchestrating these murders.
So what would the audience be for this movie? Is there nudity? I mean, I already know the answer to this. But is there nudity? Is there like a lot of swearing? Is it gory? Is it something that you can watch as a family, enjoy? Is it young adult? Is it...
Young adult is probably the best kind of audience. I would rate it R, but not a hard R. I mean, there's gore and there's some cussing, but this is an exploitation movie. This is kind of a traditional '90s pop slasher. So that's the audience for Scream, Urban Legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's a murder mystery. It's a whodunit. It's there's a lot of suspects, and I'm always shocked that people are kind of surprised at the reveal of the killer.
I was. Usually I'm pretty good.
That I hear that a lot, but I'm like if you watch, they're the only people left alive. Like I mean, I guess the spoiler embargo is is long gone. I mean, there's
don't.
Okay, all right,
don't.
All right.
Because I want people to see it.
Well, I'm always
so
shocked.
It could be a he, a she, a they, a them, a Zer,
or
I don't know, whatever.
Something that we
something
we've never seen before
pops up later on that you think is something else.
Okay, another movie that it was inspired by is a movie called the two movies. I should have mentioned this before: Scream and a movie called Sleepwalkers from 1990. All right, and see, this is a reaction every time you say the movie Sleepwalkers.
I was so excited, and when I saw that, I'm like, "What did I just watch?" Okay,
which I love, and nobody talks about Sleepwalkers. It was a movie written by Stephen King. It was his first original screenplay. Directed by Mick Garris.
Mick Garris, yeah.
Both horror legends, old timers in the horror genre, obviously. But it's a movie that kind of came and went, and it's not much of a footnote in horror history.
I think they overreached with their special effects, though. I think.
Oh my God! Well, the transformation, like you mentioned before,
he's in the car.
The early '90s face morph is one of the best worst things you could watch. And
that's why I laufhed. I went to it.
Well, that's what I had to do. I had to learn. Like I was typing like early 1990s face morph. Because it had to be authentic to that time.
Yeah.
That face morph that's in SCREAMWALKERS. That's tribute to the one in Sleepwalkers, which is one of the most fascinating things you could watch.
It is.
And I noticed it on it's become a meme too. I noticed it on online that it's just it's become mocked. And wonderfully mocked. And
yours was good though. Yours was good.
Good, bad?
I was fine with it.
Okay, all right. I mean, that was a DIY effect.
Yeah,
but our cast was great. See, that's the thing when you're doing like a movie that nobody's really getting paid or anything like that. Put a monster in it. Put a gore scene. Put a few jokes like these actors can enjoy and have fun with. Like
I gotta
something to look
bust your
forward
balls
to.
About something though.
Go ahead.
So you got the cool mask. The mask is cool, right? And then you got this cool like ninja like cat grip thing, right? Because it's cat-centric film. They didn't use that thing enough, man. I want to see that thing
the claw
do
blade?
more damage. But one of my favorite kills, I'm not gonna say who, but there's some knitting needles. There's a knitting needle scene. The way that was filmed, it was just
thanks, man.
It was very well shot. I like that perspective. I'll just throw a couple more scenes since I'm remembering them now. I laughed. There's a really funny scene when the cops are all at a house and they're trying to, they're investigating something. And one guy puts on the sunglasses and then the next one puts on
they have their own little...
I just laughed out loud.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah. You see, that's like when some of those actors really didn't get paid that day.
Yeah. That was
my
a great
friends.
scene.
They were my friends there. So it's like, hey, come and help me. Like, it's going to take 4 hours. Come over to my house. That was my house we shot in my old house in Long Island. I was like, come over, and come up with a cat pun. Like, come up with a joke.
Yeah.
Roast the lead detective here because he saw a cat in the house, like a cat killer. Okay?
Yeah.
So, it also explains why nothing's really being done as far as solving this murder because,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. But that's also like, Sean wants me to go be in his movie for 4 hours. Like, at least I get to be in a funny scene and have a funny joke.
Yeah.
And like, or like the knitting needles scene. Like that was a kind of a really cool idea that gets people excited about the movie when they're not, when they're working long hours or not getting paid much.
Another thing I want to throw at you, I thought that was a really good transition shot, was when the forensic photographer was taking pictures of someone's body, and then it transitioned into the classroom. They were talking about the money.
Yeah.
And and then the cameras were there too. I thought that was a
match
really
cut?
really good shot, like a good transition shot.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I want to build these up because like I think a lot of independent movies don't get the credit they deserve on some of the the crafting of it. You know.
You see, there's low budget movies. There's mainstream movies that are artless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't want to say like rom-coms are artless because it takes a lot of skill to make a good rom-com. Okay. But you're not. That's not an opportunity for a director to show flair and flash and style. Okay. An action movie, yeah, you can. You know, a Marvel movie, maybe not, but like a horror movie, go nuts, man.
Yeah.
Like, throw your ideas out there, because if there's any audience that's going to be accepting of the new ideas or something different, it's going to be a horror audience. Like, rom-com audiences aren't expecting something wild, you know? They want the traditional rom-com movie. You know, action movie, like, yeah, go a little nuts, but we want good action. We want Die Hard, we want Lethal Weapon, you know? Like, don't go too crazy. Like Hong Kong goes crazy, and that's awesome, you know. But horror audiences are like, show me something new. Like, go nuts, like, you know. Like,
you got a good build up in SCREAMWALKERs. Like it's a cacophony. I really like the end, and then there's like another little end there too.
Yeah, the second end was necessary. Yeah, and that involves the mummy character. Played by Matt Weir, veteran of The Last Driving with Joe Bob Briggs. He was the props effects guy on that.
That's awesome.
So Matt Weir, he designed the mummy and also played the mummy, and that was kind of a last thing we added to the script. The last things we added to the script, Bob Heckman and I, were the detective Joe Penny and the mummy, because we were just kind of wondering, like, we started seeing all like the Brendan Fraser mummy love going around. You know, I can't remember the last time we had a good mummy in a movie. Like, what the hell?
It's hard.
Like, and then we were like, well, we have the Egyptian mythology.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep was
favorite.
Yeah, the last good mummy movie, man.
Yes,
like, come on, man.
So.
And that's a damn classic. And it's a movie that nobody really discusses anymore, but it's so funny. And that's another movie that plays it straight as possible.
Yeah.
Absurd premise, but you have a hillbilly mummy there who's sucking old people's souls out of their butts.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Come on, man. And it does not falter from that idea. And that's like yes, much respect to that. Thank you for taking that absurd premise and not insulting us and winking at us and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So the mummy was like, can we fit a mummy in here? Yeah, sure, let's put a mummy in there. You know, the mythology of the movie sets it up. So coming up with ideas for more SCREAMWALKERs is more mummies, more kind of timey-wimey stuff.
I really liked how things came together in the end. Like with the sky and everything.
Yeah, that was
I also like that opening shot, though. By the way, the grainy footage. And at first, I'm like, "Oh, this is cool. I like where we're going." And then I noticed how the killer or killers are jumping, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on?"
That's Wilpin's Orange, my co-creator. He's going a little nuts with that.
And then as the movie goes along, and it's cat centric. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But at first, I'm like,
yeah.
What the?
There was two actors that played the masked killer. That's Wilpin's Orange, the guy who made the mask and created the character pretty much, and Aidan Finnegan. So they had to kind of play. They had to represent multiple characters, not giving too much away, but they had to represent multiple people. So, one of them has a more kind of fluid kind of, movement style, and another one has a more kind of, pouncy.
Like a hulking?
Yeah, kind of like a sharper kind of pouncy kind of attack action. So and then it was just like, hey, whoever's, can you come over and put the mask on? And, it was random people.
Course.
One of them was me. Yeah. Another one where somebody kicks him down the stairs or them down the stairs. That was a blow-up doll that, we threw down the stairs.
I noticed.
And in screenings,
I loved it.
That gets like the biggest laugh.
I loved it.
Because there's this, CJ, Elizabeth Davaley, the actor playing CJ, she's about 130 pounds max, and maybe less.
Soaking wet.
Yeah, and then she kicks the guy at the top of the stairs, and they go hit the ceiling and go flying.
That's awesome.
So we put a sandbag around a blow up doll. We taped the blow up dick to the leg.
Yeah.
Put a sandbag around its waist, and then just went boom, down the stairs. And
I laughed.
It gets
too.
a huge laugh. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't meant to get a laugh, but we were just like, well, that looks ridiculous. That's gonna, So that's.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks. So, yeah. And the cloud tank in the end was something I always want to do because.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it kind of has the second ending that Don said, where it's this kind of supernatural aspect of the movie, and it kind of goes otherworldly, and I love movies like Poltergeist and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and all those movies had this kind of cool cloud effect. Mm-hmm. And before CGI, they would just dunk milk or cream into a fish tank and let that kind of float and create clouds. So I did that in my garage. My friend Frank Sabatella helped, another director, great director. And it was like, I've always wanted to do that cloud tank effect. So this was the chance to do it. And it came out pretty cool. So
for those who might be interested at this point or not interested, is there anything you want to say about your movie that would draw people in to see it, or that they should know that might compel them to check it out?
If you're a fan of strange movies, if you're a fan of not so typical slasher movies, if you're a fan of cat-themed serial killers, if you're a mummy fan, SCREAMWALKERS kind of has a blend of a lot of things. It has, like I said, it has Egyptian mythology as a story point. It has a mummy. It has kind of a whodunit, it has a murder mystery, and a cool, weird killer with a cool weapon that we didn't use enough. And there's one more point I'll get to after this. But yeah, it's just a movie that's it just wants to entertain you, and that's it. And I think that's good enough, especially in this weird world we live in now, where there's so much distraction and
I think we need more distraction, but like
negative. There's negative stimuli for some of us, and I think like something like this is it's escapism, and I like escapism and fantasy horror and kind of adventure horror, and this is that, and so if you like that stuff, and if you want to break from A24 and Neon and Osgood Perkins and stuff, I'm not saying that's bad, but if you want to break from that, like SCREAMWALKERS is kind of made for that, made for you.
Where can they get it?
They can find it streaming on Fossum TV, Night Flight Plus.
That's awesome.
Night Flight, right? Yeah. So
I grew up, well, of course.
I appreciate Night Flight. Yeah.
Captain Commander USA movie, groovy movies in the day, night flight at night.
That's damn right. Night Flight is a Gen X classic.
Animation, music,
underground films, and now they have a great streaming platform which partners with Vinegar Syndrome, and
it's pretty inexpensive.
It's $3 a month, and the horror selection is fantastic.
Like if you like punk music, avant-garde. Art,
and they have the archival episodes on there too.
What's that?
They have the archival Night Flight episodes, all the shows on there. It's on Sling. It's on Real Short. Trying to get it on a couple of other higher level streamers. We're talking, and it's also available on DVD. You can get that on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com.
Do you have a website that anyone can go to, or Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, it's all over Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So is it under what should they look for?
SCREAMWALKERS or SCREAMWALKERS movies.
Got it. Okay.
Google SCREAMWALKERS and you'll find it.
Okay. Got it.
That's right. And it's available exclusively from us, the filmmakers, on Blu-ray, and you get that on eBay. So if you go to eBay, type in SCREAMWALKERS. That comes directly from us, and that's probably the best way to get it is on Blu-ray from us on eBay.
And you know what? Even if you don't like it, man, it's got some good cover art. It looks damn good on a shelf.
Yeah, and it comes with a little postcard in it, and you can put that on your locker or your office desk.
No, if
your home office desk.
If you're used to like indie cinema and stuff, you'll like it. Yeah. I liked it.
Thank you, Don. Thank you.
Yeah, in the middle. It gets a little pokey, but I don't have to be bombarded like with the younger generations need to be bombarded with something going on. It's nice that there's a build-up.
Yeah. Hopefully, the story keeps you going enough. Yeah.
And there's a payoff in the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a slow burn, and then nothing happens at the end. You're like, What the fuck?
Yeah, see, yeah, I find that happens a lot more.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Like don't waste my time.
Ugh.
Don't waste my time.
No, you're not. I think you're not wasting your time with your film. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I want other people to see it, and I can't wait to see what you got coming next because the shorts are beautiful.
Thank you.
So obviously there's a difference in video quality and resolution and all that.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait to see what you do next. You got some really nice shots. And
thank you, man. Thank you.
You're not a mediocre director, so
appreciate that.
I think your next one's going to be a banger.
Yeah, the next one. I mean, we're working on more Screamwalkers tales, tales of Screamwalkers, and you know we probably would ditch the lo-fi aspect and kind of treat it a little bit more with a pedigree, if we can, if we have the resources, which we didn't have the first time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, if people get out and see it, especially with crowdfunding and everything, it'll just lead more people to that, ballooning that budget up.
Yeah, and this helps, so thank you.
No, thank you for being here. All right, man, I'm not going to kidnap you and keep you here all day.
Right,
thank you.
This was fun, man. Thank you. And thanks for the yoo-hoo.
Oh, hell yeah, of course.
Better in a box. Don't listen to that. It's better in a box.
I'm not going to say I like it in the can on camera.